You know, over the last, get my change straight here because I don't like when my shit be lean to the side or whatever too much anyway. I'm a little OCD with that. But anyway, for about the last week and a half, 2 weeks, I've been checking out a dude, Kevin Samuels. Now, I don't even know if I want to put his name in the title of the video because, people think, I'm doing that just to get views. But I may do it anyway because I do want people to look at this shit. But anyway, I've been, checking him out. Now, I had heard about him, about a year ago, 8 or 9 months ago, when he told that woman she was, quote unquote, average at best. And dude was right. She was average at best. Kevin Samuels is a little younger than me, but he ain't saying nothing that I haven't been saying for decades. And matter of fact, I even put it in my book. You got to choose a mate who, I use the term, looks like you. And a lot of the women out there, they are trying to go after guys who don't look like them. All right? You got short, might as well say round women trying to go after these quote unquote tall, dark, healthy, well-to-do men. And they want to bring 2 and 3 kids into the relationship. And they want this 6-figure man making 6-figure income, to accept them and their kids and their flaws. And they talking about how they deserve it. And Kevin Samuels is, calling them out on that shit. But like I said, you got to choose a partner who looks like you. If you look like you short and dumpy and average, which most people are, then you got to go after you got to try to date at that level. You can't, otherwise you're just going to set yourself up for a big letdown. And I used to say this shit to dudes all the time, man. At my old job, you got these big, fat, sloppy, hairy-ass motherfucking white boys criticizing women who don't have the perfect hourglass shape and a beautiful supermodel face. And I would say to them, motherfucker, look at you. You ain't shaved. You look like you just walked or climbed out from underneath a car, working on it. You haven't exercised in 15 years since you left high school. You're overweight, you're tired, and you want your woman to look like a supermodel. Well, motherfucker, if she got to look like a supermodel, you got to look like Superman. I used to say to them. And they'll laugh it off and blow it off, but they knew I was telling the truth. And then you get these women who Kevin Samuels talks to, who got all his baggage and all his attitude, and they want this Superman to come down and save them. That shit ain't gonna happen. And that shit crosses all demographics, by the way. I just use white boys as an example. But I'll use somebody black as an example, too, so people won't, say that I'm, feeling some type of way. And besides, I care more about how black people fare in this world than anybody else, because, that's how I get down. So one time about 15 years ago, right, I asked this woman out. She told me no. I asked her why. She said, because I don't date men in their 40s. I said, you don't date men in their 40s? She said, no. Now, I'm a gentleman. I didn't go off on her. I just, okay, cool. By then I had learned to accept no and just keep it motherfucking moving. It didn't hurt my feelings. I kind of expected her to say no. But she was what we call in the hood, we call thick. She was really fat. She had a smallish waist, but she had a big ass and big titties, and she was, if you did a BMI on her, she'd be considered obese, right? At the time, I had to go about 178, 79 pounds. She had to weigh at least that, but she was 4 inches shorter than me, and I ain't but 5'5". So, you know, and she had two kids. Now, I could have said I don't usually date women, you know, I don't usually ask fat girls to go out, but I made an exception in your case. I didn't say that because, like I said, I'm a gentleman. And y'all know, the point is, at that time, I was carrying a lot less body fat than I am now. And right now, I'm, you know, to be my age, and I ain't even going to say to be my age, I'm in pretty good shape. I work out. I got a flat stomach. I still lift heavy weights, and I still train on the regular. I'm not in contest shape, but I could get there in probably 6 or 8 weeks without much of a problem. You know what I'm saying? But I still asked her ass out. I could have went to the gym and asked somebody who on a treadmill out, but I asked her. And she was on, no, you too old, you too old. I could have, like I said, I could have said, you too fat, you too fat. I you know, but I ain't go there. So women running around here with arms this big a fucking round, hanging out their sleeveless dress, talking about they want a man to be as close to perfect as possible because they feel like they deserve it. And like Kevin said, why do you feel you deserve that? And then because I am, because I'm this, because I'm that. And in reality, they ain't really shit. In reality, they ain't really shit. They just like everybody else. If we're gonna save the black community as a whole, if we're gonna survive as a black nation over the next, say, 10 years to 2031, we got to get off that shit. That's why I celebrate it when somebody have kids. You know what I mean? I celebrate it when we procreate, when black people get together and procreate. I celebrate that shit. Because I think we should be moving our numbers up. But when you got women with attitudes like some of these women got that he talks to and that I talk to and that I see in everyday life, you know, it don't look too good. It doesn't look too good. But I like Kevin Samuels, and I like what he talks about. And I listened to a bunch of shit before I formed an opinion on the dude. Because I thought I thought that he was talking about brothers who have 6-figure incomes is like a dime a dozen. But no, they're not. And he says they're not. And he's absolutely right. Because I look at the same demographics he looks at. And brothers who make that kind of money are few and far between. And then when a brother really making a 6-figure income, 9 times out of 10, he's going to marry a woman who makes a 6-figure income. Or high fives anyway. And a woman who makes a 6-figure income, who really makes a 6-figure income, right? I mean, who netting that shit. She usually gonna marry somebody in that same goddamn financial demographic. And them people are the extremes. Most people fall in the middle, like Kevin Samuel says. Most people make between 30 and say 60 to $75,000 a year. That's what most people make. So that's the level they're gonna marry at. All these delusional ass women sitting around waiting for their closet door to open and a rich dude to fall out. That motherfucker, they gonna die alone, like he said. And I know a bunch of them because as you get older, and people start passing away, a lot of them did wind up dying alone. And you knew them when they was younger, and they had that same fucked up attitude. So I have to say the brother's on point. The brother's on point. And there's a lot of these motherfucking women out here, black women out here, and white ones too, but black women out here that got the game fucked up. It comes down to one thing: honesty. People don't like honesty. Politicians don't like honesty. Companies don't like honesty. The average man and woman on the street don't like honesty. They say they do, but they don't. Because every time somebody come on the internet or social media or the black media or wherever, politician or whatever have you, start talking honestly, and start speaking in an honest manner and coming up with real and honest solutions to our problems, they get silenced. They get told to shut the fuck up. Or they get sabotaged. Because everybody want to live in a fucking illusion. Everybody want to live in a goddamn illusion. And that's going to be our undoing. So when you get a chance, check out one of Kevin Samuel's clips. And then think about the women, if you're a man, think about the women that you have tried to date or have known in your adult life. And if you're a woman, think about how you act in your day-to-day dealings with men who are trying to ask you out. A lot of women have a man in their life or a man who's trying to get in their life that's going to treat them right and going to be good to them. But he don't have the kind of job they think he should have. He ain't tall as they like him to be. He might be a little heavier than they want him to be. They're going to find some reason to shoot that man down and think they can wait on something better because they deserve something better. Or you get these women who say, I'm waiting on God to send me a man. Well, God sent you a man. He just ain't in the package you want him to be in. So you want God to send you another man. And another one after that. Until by the time you're 45, 50 years old, ain't nobody checking for your ass. Man, everybody need a cold motherfucking dose of reality. A cold fucking dose of reality. A goddamn reality check to the 100th degree. That's what people need. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Check Kevin Samuels out, though. Dude is on point. And I agree with 85, 90% of what he say about these fucking women. Anyway, that's it for now, y'all. Peace.